reaction to Trump's attack and destruction of Iran's nukes, including the criticisms he's getting from the Democrats, and including the false reports about them not doing the damage they say there is.
Okay. So first I'll address the legality of it. Article 2 of the Constitution says the president is the commander-in-chief. Even if you are trying to use the War Powers Act, the War Powers Act does not prevent the president from initiating attacks on America's adversaries any more than when Barack Obama bombed Khalid Sheikh Mohammed or any attacks, right? There was no declaration of war for the invasion of Iraq, for Vietnam, for Korea, for the Gulf War, for Bosnia, for Grenada, for Panama. Take your pick, right? That's a power in Article 2. We don't know exactly why the president thought it was necessary to strike those nuclear facilities right now, because that intelligence has not been made public to the public. But we do know that every president has said since the Ayatollah took over control of Iran in 1979 that Iran having nuclear weapons capability is an existential threat that has to be stopped. And we know that at some point they would try to use those nuclear weapons on the nation of Israel and vicariously try to attack the United States. And so we can't operate out of Iran out of fear that we're afraid that if we do what our stated policy is, protect ourselves and protect Israel, that they'll retaliate with us through sleeper cells, through closing the Straits of Hormuz, through affecting the oil prices, those kind of things. We have to act in America's best interest. And I think the way that President Trump did it was exactly right. Iran's not going to have nuclear weapons. Destroy those facilities. And now, if Iran wants to have peace, which it seems like they do, then we're going to offer them peace. Mm-hmm. And if they want to threaten the United States or Israel, then we're not going to operate out of fear and back down from that. I think it's a policy that we should have. But there's no rational world leader that thinks Iran, the number one state sponsor of terror, whose stated goal is to wipe Israel off the face of the map, and America, if they could, should have nuclear weapons. That's a non-starter in the global world right now.
Yeah, and now Trump is they're trying to impeach Trump for this.
Yeah, that's completely ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It's completely ridiculous that he.
How stupid are they?
He is the president of the United States. The reason why we created the reason why that office exists is so you imagine George Washington. Yeah. It's because there's an invasion, there's an attack, there's something that's going to harm America, and there could be a person who could command the military to protect the country. That's why we have a president. Yeah. Congress does declare war, but the War Powers Act, which is a statute, does not prevent the president. It's 60 days worth of activity, right, without authorization from Congress, either appropriation or supply. And like even the Marine Expeditionary Force, they're supplied for 60 days, which would mean after that you'd want a supplemental authorization from Congress, or you want resourcing from Congress. But the reason why you have an executive is so he could respond to emergencies quickly. And
how interesting, 60 days is how long President Trump gave to Iran to come up with a solution.
Yeah, he followed the law.
Yeah.
And he did what every president, including President Obama, said they would do.
Yeah, and they didn't do
given that circumstance. Why is the media critical of Trump?
Yeah.
Is because Trump does what other politicians promise to do but don't do.
Yeah.
Close the border, defend Israel, defend America, appoint conservative judges, let loose our economy and engineer our economy. He actually does it. Renegotiate our trade deals. He does what other politicians have given lip service to and actually did it. Now, does that mean I think we should take war lightly? We should not. We should not take loss of life lightly. But there is a direct threat. When I was in Iraq, Iran killed a lot of American soldiers.
Yeah.
A lot of personal friends of mine were killed by operatives that were working for Iran and by munitions that were provided by Iran. I saw people killed by the Iranians, basically, by their munitions and their, the people who were working for them. And there was no accounting for that, right? Iran just was able to kill Americans.